Happy New Year, Facebook family. Hope you all are doing well. I hope that you all were having lots of fun and safe last night, and you all enjoyed bringing in or leaving 2019 and entering into 2020 and the best way possible, however you want to do that. Hey, Shay. Thank you for joining me. What I am going to do is I created this tool for my clients, and I thought I would just share it with you all because I think it's a great way to not only reflect on last year, and today is the first day of the new year, but also just to kind of put some context around just your life and things and all that other good stuff. Hey, Tisha. So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully you have some pencil and paper ready, because what I'm going to do is I have 10 reflective, thought-provoking questions that I want you to answer. And this is for you to answer. Again, hopefully you have paper and pen or some type of note-taking materials ready, because I am going to talk about each one. I'll give you the question and talk about it and all that other good stuff. So here we go. Hope y'all are ready. Hey, Kim and everybody else who's joining. So I want to kind of hide my comments, but I don't, because if y'all have a question, I want to be able to answer. So bear with me, okay? So here we go. Again, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today is the first day of 2020, and we have all the good eating, good food, and all the celebrations. But I just want to take a few minutes to come and share this these 10 questions with you. So these are 10 quick questions. These are reflective. This is just for you to think about, not only leaving out of 2019, but going into 2020. Y'all ready? I need somebody to say you're ready, and then we're going to get started. Hey, y'all. Thank you. Hey, Kendall. Congratulations. Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, Sandra. Okay, so here we go. The first question number one is, rate how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. Rate how you feel about 2019. I mean, you had some wins, you had some losses, but overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate how you feel about 2019. Again, don't count every loss, don't count every win, but just overall. How would you rate 2019? Was it good to you, bad to you, indifferent? But again, on a scale of 1 to 10. When I did this, and again, I did this for my clients, but of course, I completed this as well. And when I looked at 2019, I gave 2019 an 8. Yes, there's always room for improvement, but my 2019, I don't owe it anything. I took some hits, some public, well, some private. But I took some hits. So 2019, I would give it an 8. What would you give it? What would you give your 2019 on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, that's question number 1. All right. Question number 2. What word, mood, or theme would you use to describe 2019? Is it a song? Is it just a simple word? What kind of mood do you think 2019 had? Again, for me, when I think about last year, good, Tisha, yours was 8 too? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, mine was an 8. When I think about the word, mood, or theme that I would use to describe 2019, I think it would be discernment. I think for me, I don't know if it wasn't turning 50, but this was a year that I really took a deeper look into me, people, processes, people connected to me, people who are no longer connected to me. So I think mine was really more so discerning and revelation and I don't know, deep. I don't know. There's a word. I can't think of it right now. Tamara, yours was intentional. Okay. That's a good word. And thank you for that 7. Thank you for that 7. So, yeah, I don't know if it was revelatory, because again, I mean, with some things that I experienced in 2019, I slowed down a lot. I talked less. I was more strategic in 2019. I just wasn't doing things to be doing them, but I slowed down. So me slowing down gave me the ability to see and think past the end of my hand and to think past certain situations. And, everything doesn't appear as what you might think it is, because there were some times in 2019, my mind was playing tricks on me and I had to take captive those thoughts. So what moods, word, or theme would you give 2019? Thank you so much, Tamara, for that intentional. And again, I don't know that I have one for mine, but share that with you. Okay, so the third question. So the first question is rate your 2019 on a scale of 1 to 10. The second question is what moods, words, or theme would you give 2019? And then here's the next one. This is number 3. Now, this is going to take some time, and it'll take some time away from this Facebook Live. All righty, but here's what I need you to do. I know we took some hits. I know every day wasn't a good day, but we have to slow down and count our wins. We have to count our wins. And here's a question, or not the question. Don't discount the small wins. If your goal was to simply work out 5 days a week and you did 5 days a week, then so shall it be. If your goal was to save X amount of dollars by December and you did it, whether big or small, let's go back and count our wins. And what I want you to do is, I did this earlier, and I'm going to post mine when I get off of Facebook Live. But I took every month. We had first, second, third, and fourth quarter of 2019. I want you to go back, and whether you look through your Facebook, your pictures, whatever you do, I want you to go back and every month, January, February, March, something good happened. I don't want you to think about anything. Even if you lost your job, thank God that you had enough in savings. I don't know. Whatever it is, count your wins. Count your wins. Okay? Count your wins. So you got first quarter, second quarter, third, and fourth. Those are 12 wins that you had last year in 2019. And I want you to just take a few minutes. Again, whether, it's Facebook. I was able to go into my Google Drive on my phone, and I can type in January 2019 and all my pictures came up. So then I was able to just, I remember that. Oh, I spoke at that event. I was a keynote for the Deltas. So I was able to go back and identify a win for every month of 2019. So good, Marvin, yours is winning season. Okay, I like that. This is cool. Sure sad due to grief from losing my mom. Okay, and you know what? It is what it is. If that's what it is, we just pray your strength, and we know that 2020 is going to be better for you, right? So here's where we are. So list your 2019 wins. You have 12 wins, one for every month. Go back and list your win. January, February, March, April, May. And it's so interesting to go back and do that, because we don't realize, although life is happening, we've had some pretty cool stuff happen for us, to us, through us in 2019. So let's not get so caught up in what didn't go right. But again, go back and look at every win. I want you to write down 12, 1 through 12. Go back, check your pictures. If something might automatically come to mind that can get you started, but write down your 12 wins for 2019, one for every month. Okay? That's the third question. Now, the fourth question is a little more detailed as well. It's not anything that you might be able to do right here, right now, but I want you to write this down. Okay? In wellness, there's something called 8 dimensions of wellness. These are 8 areas of your life, okay, that you should be able to identify or operate at a high level, or figure out where you're operating. Some might not be as high as others. So I want you to, on your paper, I want you to write number 1 through 8. Okay, 1 through 8. And we're going to talk about the 8 dimensions of wellness. And what I want you to do here is, I love this, and introspection and everything. Thanks for this great word, my sister. Thank you so much, Marvin. I'm so glad you can join us. This is going to be some good stuff, because I have a couple other things. I have 10 questions that I'm going to share that we're going to discuss for reflection, 2019 reflection. So if you don't have your pen and paper, you might want to grab it. So here's the next question. This is number 4. There are 8 dimensions of wellness. 8 dimensions of wellness. What I want you to do is I'm going to give you the 8 dimensions. Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Number 1 is emotional. On a scale of 1 through 10, think about your emotional health. Think about your emotional state of being in 2019. Was it a 5, 6, 7, 8? Scale of 1 through 10, write down. Number 1 is emotional. All right. Number 2 is financial. And we're talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness. Number 2 is financial. On a scale of 1 to 10, think about your financial management, your financial matters, your savings, your investments. Were you spending frivolously? Okay. Did you stack that savings like you said you were going to do? Okay. So scale of 1 to 10, no judgment zone. This is all about you. All righty. The number 3 is emotional, your emotional health, your emotional intelligence. How aware are you of your emotional intelligence? What are your triggers? What sets you off? Your emotional well-being, your heart, your mind, your soul, your anger, your disappointment, your abandonment, your rejection. Okay. Emotional is number 3. So on a scale of 1 to 10, write that number next to that area. All righty. Number 4 is occupational. Occupational, your career, your income. If you're full-time employed like I am, but I'm also a business owner, I can look at my emotion, look at my number that I would put for occupational. How satisfied was I? Okay. Again, scale of 1 to 10. That's number 4. Number 5 is social. All righty. When it comes to social, we're not just talking about social media, but what about your circle of influence? What about the people that are around you, the people that you're connected to? Are you spending time away from work? Or you just have this little routine and you're not doing anything that just kind of allows you to relax and enjoy? Alrighty, so social is number 5. Alrighty, so y'all got that? Tell me if I'm going too fast. I do have a tendency to talk fast. Number 1 is emotional, 2, financial. No, what did I say? Emotional, financial, physical. See, I messed that up. Physical is number 3. All right, so let's go back. Emotional, financial. Okay, and instead of that other, the third one is physical. Emotional, financial, physical, and then occupational. And number 5 is social. Okay, so I made that correction there. Alrighty. Emotional, financial, physical. So your physical health, are your numbers good? Are you satisfied with your numbers when it comes to your height, weight, BMI, HDL, LDL, your cholesterol? Are you satisfied with that? What number would you put on your physical health? Okay. Did you decrease the number of prescriptions this year, or did you increase? All righty. So that's the physical. And we talked about occupational. Number 5 is social. And number 6 is intellectual. Number 6 is intellectual. We're talking about the 8 dimensions of wellness. And number 6 is intellectual. Your intellectual health. Are you reading? What are you watching? I promise you already know this. What goes in is going to come out. I shared on Sunday that because I know I'm called to a certain demographics, it wouldn't make sense to me to sit up and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta all the time. That's not something I want to feed my spirit. So intellectual. I read some books this year. I have some other books that's on my list for 2020. Now, am I reading a book a month? No, but I make sure that I'm listening to something. Sometimes even in the gym, I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to, I might be listening to Tony Robbins. I might be listening to Les Brown. I might be listening to anybody while I'm in the gym working out. Okay. And I also have my Audible. So I might just be driving. When I drove to Houston, I listened to a whole book driving to Houston. Okay. So intellectual, what are you doing to increase your emotional, not your emotional, but your intellect? What are you reading? Perhaps you're interested in investing. Are you reading books about investment? Okay. Investing. So the next one is spiritual. Again, what we're doing is we're rating on a scale to 1 to 10, these areas of dimensions of wellness. We had emotional, financial, physical, occupational, social, intellectual, and now we're on spiritual. Now, whoever you decide to serve, I don't care if you're Muslim, I don't care if you're Buddhist, I don't care if you're Christian. If you had to rate your spirituality, your spiritual awareness, your relationship with God or whoever, how would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10? Were you active in the ministry? Or do you just go on Sunday and just kind of go home? What about, and I'm not here for discussion, not up for discussion, but your tithes, offering, and your first fruits. Okay. So all of that. Alrighty. So that's spiritual. Alrighty. And the next is environmental. And this was interesting because I don't want to go deep into your carbon footprint. Okay. But what I do want to focus on is environmental. What's around you? Is your house cluttered? Is your house filled with clutter? Is your closet cluttered? And that, because that's stress. Because if you're trying to get up and get out in the morning and you're trying to do something, you can't find a shoe because one shoe is somewhere and one is somewhere else. That's stress. You already starting your morning on a high note when you just make sure your shoes are together at night. So I'm talking about environmental. What's around you? And not to go down that road, that rabbit hole, but are your chakras blocked? Okay. What about the feng shui? What about your living room, your kitchen? Okay. Are you around a lot of clutter? So on a scale of 1 to 10, also measure that. Okay. So we have gone through the 8 dimensions of wellness, and that was the 4th question. I have 10 questions total that we're going to be reviewing today. All righty. Grace says, oh, I'm a homeowner. Yes, I got one in 2020, a car in 2019. So you survived another surgery and I'm still alive. That's good. That's good. Self-employed, can work anywhere. Yes, Grace. We have to remember we probably have taken some hits, but we've had some wins too. So that's the most important thing. So congratulations. That's my best friend from elementary, middle school. Okay. So the next question is this. We're on question number 5. All righty. Question number 5. And this is something that we don't necessarily, I don't want to say we don't pay attention to, but we overlook sometimes. But question number 5 is, I want you to list your skills, gifts, and talents. What do you bring to the table? What value do you add to the world? What value do you add to your work environment? What value do you add to the community? What value do you add to your family or your relationships? All righty. What skills, gifts, and talents do you have? List them. List them. You might be a great organizer. You might be a great connector. You might be very detail oriented where somebody else is not, and you just add that value to keep everything together. But what skills, gifts, and talents do you have? And what value do you add? What value do you add to the workplace? And one way to look at this is, what is that thing that people tell you about, or they might compliment you on, or they say you're good at it and you don't think it's a big deal? Now that's tapped into your purpose and your passion. You might be able to paint or draw, or you might be good with numbers. And it's like, oh, that was easy for you. Well, it comes easy for you because you're tapped into your purpose and your passion. But one way is to think about that. What do people come to you for? If I had to say, well, people come to me, they talk about fitness, they talk about purpose, they talk about this. I know what people come for, empowerment. I know what people come to me for. All right. So what value do you add? List your skills, gifts, and talents. And we're on question number 5. Okay. We're doing 10 questions, and this is just some 2019 reflection, kind of to help you get focused. And, we can reflect on 2019. We want to get focused on 2020. And with that, I am on question number 6. And this is the one that I really want you all to focus on, especially during this time when everybody's saying about cutting people off. Okay, we cut them off in 2019. We're going to cut them off in 2020. Why are we still cutting people off? Why are we still cutting people off? Why are we still telling people you're not going to hear from me anymore? I put it like this. If you keep doing what God has called you to do, and if you keep doing and operating in your gift and your purpose and your talents and all those things that you're supposed to do and stay focused, those that are supposed to ride with you are going to continue to rise and ride with you. You don't have to give notice to anybody. You don't have to give notice at all. They'll fall off. They'll eventually get the message. You don't have to write a memo. You don't have to post, because again, y'all post stuff on Facebook, and if you're bad enough, you'll tag them. Okay, I won't go there. Anyway, we're not cutting anybody off. We're not cutting anybody off. Let them leave them right where they are. Okay, but you just continue doing what you're supposed to do, and don't let them be the focus. And here's the next question. This is question number 6. Identify the people in 2019 that helped you win. And if they helped you win, It could have been a resource. It could have been they connected you into someone else to help you do something. It could have been a meeting. It could have been approval. Whatever it is, there's some people. We don't do this alone. We do not do life alone. There are some people in your life that helped you win. Perhaps you were having a horrible day and you were just able to call this one person. They helped you during that time. So contact, and I don't want to say, I don't want to put that pressure on you, but identify the people in 2019 that helped you win. Go back and look at your list, the 12 that we did, one of the first one, that's question number 2. You have a win for every month. It was some people that helped you win. If you launched a product, if you kicked off a coaching program, if you published a book, somebody helped you win. Go back and identify those people that helped you win in 2019. So again, you're not focusing on the haters. You're not focused on the people who you want to cut off. And if you still focusing on the people who you want to cut off, you might be the issue. Because we can't keep cutting off the same people every year, okay? So go back. And really quick, let me stop here and say, when I talk about the value that you add and the skills, gifts, and talents that you have, that's your individual contribution to the world, to the community. That's where you add value, with you and you alone. But when you talk about the people who help you win, that's a collective win. And I think about me being on the 4x1 relay, opposed to me running the 100-meter hurdles. My 100-meter hurdles was an individual event, but it was also towards a collective win. But when I was on the 4x1 relay, that was a collective win. All righty? So think about, you're so right, Jessica, no success on your own. We can't do it on our own. We are on our own. We all have somebody. So go back and identify those people in your life that helped you win in 2019. There were some people. I can name mine easily. And y'all know Dr. Jonathan Pack helped me win. Oh my goodness, Dr. Kimberly Ellison helped me win. One of my, Dr. Inga Johnson helped me win. My daughter, Ashanti Harper, helped me win. Who else? I have some more. Dr. Regina Spellman helped me win. So I have some people in my life with some things that I did this year. I know they pushed, prayed, prodded. They did something to help me win. So go back and identify those people. And if you want to go as far as sending a thank you text, or, like they say, give them their flowers while they're still living, some kind of way, let them know that you appreciate them being on your team and helping you win in 2019. Thank you all for joining me. Hey, Chandra, and who is this? Jessica, Corey. Hey, Corey, my cousin Charles is here. Here's the next question. That was question number 6. Okay. Identify the people that helped you win in 2019. All righty. And I'm not I have a few. My circle is small, but my circle is powerful. All righty. I don't care how many, there's no limit. If someone helped you win in 2019, put them on the list, because those are the people that you want to thank and be appreciative of. All righty. Question number 7. Again, this is our reflection discussion. Question number 7, and this is really good. Think about 2019. And when did you feel most in your element? When did you feel most in your element, or what was your most proudest moment? What was your most proudest moment in 2019? If you had to go back and look at, we already talked about those 12 wins. All righty. We talked about those 12 wins for the year, one every month. But think about what happened. What was that? Well, if I could ask you, what was that one thing in 2019 that you could stick your chest out and pop your collar a little bit because you say, you know what? That was my proudest moment. What was that? What was that? I think my proudest moment, I don't know if it was the proudest moment, but I think one of the most impactful moments for me in 2019 was when Dr. Ellison and Dr. Pack met for the first time. These are my two people, and they were able to meet for the first time. That was that was a trip for me. I'm not even worried about you thinking about it's a big deal or not. It was one of my most, It was that kind of moment. Okay. So when did you feel like you were most in your element, or what was your proudest moment? All right. 2019. All right. So, good reflections, lady. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Thank you for sharing this time and reflection with me. Hopefully you're taking notes and going through this with your own reflection and thoughts, and looking back over 2019. So the next question is, this is question number 8. List your 5 greatest lessons of 2019, or your greatest takeaways. Your 5 greatest lessons, or your 5 greatest takeaways. I think my 5 greatest lessons, I don't know that I can list all 5. One of my takeaways was definitely, wait a minute, awesome discussion. And beyond, thank you, I receive it. Hey, BJ, thank you so much for joining me. This is great discussion, and this is some good questions that you can have with yourself, or someone that I call iron sharpens iron, that can give you some good feedback, or just be able to share and process with. List your 5 greatest lessons or takeaways. For me, I know one of mine, with all the things that I am doing, one of my greatest lessons is consistency and systems. What else? Those are probably my takeaways. My lessons. I think one of my greatest lessons is everything starts with me. Everything starts with me. I have to get my mind right. I have to get my mind right, because if I don't get my mind right, and everything starts with me, that impacts my perception, that impacts my words, my actions, because it all starts here. So again, I know there's been some situations in 2019 that I allowed to run this whole story in my head. We can make up a story about a person or a situation, and I allowed that to stay a little too long in my head. So I had to, again, I think that's when I learned how to take captive my thoughts, would probably be a good lesson. I have to just catch myself. I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? My self-talk in 2019 has been off the chain. I've had some of the best and craziest conversations with me, about me, to me. I'm a good sounding board. Okay, so let's see, right, Jessica? I'm a good sounding board. All right, here's the 9th question, and we're doing 10 questions for reflection of 2019. Here's the next question. Yes, ma'am, we need to get our minds right. Lori, let me tell you, the scripture says that, be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And then it also says, whom the Son sets free. But, it was a ghetto boys who said my mind playing tricks on me. And then it was those evangelists in Vogue who said, free your mind and the rest will follow. So yes, we got to get our minds right. Oh my goodness. And I don't care what vision party you have, what vision boards you put. I don't care what ideas you have for 2020. If you don't get your mind right, it's going to be on your list for 2021. Get your mind right. Okay, I digress. I'm back. Thank you, Lori, for joining us. Hey, also thank you, Spud, for watching, and everybody who's here. Thank you so much. We're going over 10 questions, 10 reflection questions for 2019, and we are on question number 9. This is easy. Y'all ready? What do you need more or less of? What do you need more or less of? What do you need more of or less of? I could put a clone. I wish I had another me. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, what do I need more of or less of? I have a lot of stuff, and I might show y'all my wall. I don't have a vision board. I have a vision wall. So I have a lot to do in 2020. I need to stay focused. I need to stay consistent. If I do this stuff that's on my wall right here, y'all want to see my wall? Let me show y'all my wall. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around. How do I do that? Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show y'all my wall. Okay, so this is my wall. This is the wall in my office, and this is all my stuff that I have to do. And my goal is to make 6 figures for my business in 2020. So I have a lot to do. So if you don't see me out, if you don't see me doing some different things, it's because I'm trying to, well, you know what? I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Okay, that's neither here nor there, but I have a lot to do. So what I need more of, I'm going to say time management. I have to manage my time a little different in 2020. And just consistency. I have some systems in place. I put some systems in place in 2019. I think I'm ready. Yeah, it's already done. You sure right. Touch and agree, Jessica. Yes. Yes. Touch and agree. Touch and agree. Yes. Okay. So what do you need more of? What do you need less of? What do you need less of? Okay. And that's a good one for you to explore. What do you need more of and what do you need less of? And here's the last question of the 10 questions. The last question is, going into 2020, list 2 to 3 areas that you would like to develop. You could easily go back to those 8 dimensions of wellness if you scored low in one of those areas and you might want to work on that. Then that could be an area. It could be something as far as professional development that you'd like to work on. But just list 2 or 3 areas that you would like to develop in 2020. 2 or 3 areas you would like to develop in 2020. So those are the 10 questions that I have for you. These are the 10 questions of reflection for 2019, just to get us ready and get our minds right and prepared for 2020. And the first question was, rate how you feel about 2019. Number 2 was, what moods, words, or theme would you use to describe 2019? The third was to list your wins for 2019. List every win. First, second, third quarter. You have 12 months. You should have a win for every month. And then we talked about the 8 dimensions of wellness: emotional, financial, physical, occupational, social, intellectual, spiritual, and also environmental. Okay. And then we talked about number 5 was, what values do you add? What skills, gifts, and talents do you have? And that's the individual contribution. And then number 6 is, identify the people that helped you win in this past year, in 2019. And then think about your proudest moment. What day or time or what event, what was going on that you felt that you were in your element or at your very best? And then list your top 5, list 5 or your lessons and takeaways from this past year. And number 9 is, what do you need more or less of? Okay. And then number 10 is, list 2 or 3 areas you would like to develop. Alrighty. So will those questions be posted anywhere? I don't know, BJ. I might post these. And then Cree, you want number 2 again. Number 2 is, what words, mood, or theme would you use to describe 2019? What words, mood, or theme would you use to describe 2019? Alrighty. And BJ, I have a sheet here that I created for my clients. Okay, so this is what I have here. I can post these questions. I don't mind. I just did a Facebook Live. It's not that it's private. So I will post these questions when I'm done. I'm also going to post my wins for 2019. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and time. Thank you so much for joining me, Jessica. I appreciate it so much. Thank you also, Cree. Do y'all have any other questions for me while we're here? Happy New Year to everybody. I pray that 2019 is what was you're able to reflect, and 2020 will be all that you expect and exceed all of your expectations. But we know faith without works is dead. So we can pray all day long, but if we don't put our feet to the floor and make some stuff happen, it's just not going to happen. So I pray God sustains you in order to endure and do all that you're supposed to do. Happy New Year, Shay. Thank you also, Letitia, for joining me today. Again, I've been in bed all day. I went and had lunch with a friend. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll do this Facebook Live right quick. But guess where I'm going? Good Girls is back on Netflix, so I'm gonna go chill. But then again, I got all this stuff on my wall, but I'm gonna relax and not be what's the word? I'm not gonna feel bad about relaxing because I know once my feet hit the ground, I'm gonna be going night and nothing. So I'm definitely going to enjoy my day and time off. I'm not eating any black eyed peas today. Yeah, and all of good stuff. Did you enjoy the shade? Did you these were Yolanda's nuggets. Hopefully you were able to grab a few of those nuggets and take with you and do what you need to do. And what else do I have? I don't have anything else. I don't want to stay on here just rambling. So if you all don't have any other questions, you all know how to reach me. And I will be online for a few minutes after this because, again, I am going to post my 12 wins. But I hope this was helpful. We can talk about going into 2020. And, I love this 2020 vision. And, people are already correct in saying 2020 is not perfect vision. And, of course, the same things we saw this year, we could have seen last year. So whatever the case may be, hopefully this was something that you're able to take, use, hopefully can help you, especially those areas that you want to develop in 2020. Hopefully you have some connections and some people that you can help push you to do those things that you want to do. This is, even talking about the strategic alliance. Maybe there's an area that you want to strengthen or fortify yourself. And with that being said, there's someone out there who's doing it. It's just a matter of connecting with the right person that don't mind helping the next one. Okay. So I hope you find those divine connections to help push you and do all that you've been called to do, especially in those areas which connect to your purpose and your passion. Very helpful. I see a shift changing in my life. Boom! My work here is done, people. That's what I'm talking about, Cree. Hey, Veronica. Hey, miss you. So, yes, that's what I wanted to hear, Cree. I'm always a inbox or call away, and I will be making some other announcements of some things that are going to be happening in 2020. We'll be headed to Houston for the My Bad #unapologetic retreat. This year, we're going to do a theme of mastering self-care. And instead of Dallas, we're going to take the retreat down to Houston, and we're finalizing some details, and I'll be making the announcement about that sometime next week. And I will also be launching my Exceed 90, my strategic accountability group. I'll be launching that soon as well. So like I said, I have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to relax today because I know once I hit my feet to the floor, it's going to be on and popping. So thank you all so much for joining me. You can go back and watch this if you're just joining me, Brianna and Aaron and Kevin, and Veronica, if y'all are interested. We just went over, I had 10 questions, reflection questions for 2019 to help us focus on 2020. And each one of those questions just kind of help us get our minds right and help identify those people who helped us win and how we contribute to this world and our greatest wins and all that other good stuff. So been waiting on that. You've been waiting on the coaching program, Shay? I'm ready. There are a couple, stay tuned, okay? Because that's going to be, I'm excited about a lot of things. I showed y'all my wall, and I have a lot to do. So you pray for me, and I'll pray for you, and we're going to make 2020 one of the most amazing, remarkable years. Let's do that. We might take some hits, but if we fortify ourselves, we'll put ourselves in a strategic position to have a little more tenacity and bounce back so we can be ready to finish this race, okay? All right. Yeah, we talked about that. We did. Yes, we did. So we're gonna work on that, Shay. All right, you all, again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me. Take some time to go over these questions. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to reach out, tag me, post, whatever you want to do, and we'll go from there. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.